Hello everyone, welcome back. I am finally back after a long time, but I had my fair share things to do, my amount of things to do. But finally, I am back. And we finally can shit on WWE again because it's time we do this. And I want to talk about the amount of releases WWE has done in the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021. WWE released over 120 something like that superstars and producers, etc. But we're not gonna talk about the producers. We're gonna talk about the wrestlers and how stupid WWE is. Simply because they could have done a lot with them, and why this is destroying WWE, because no one is buying tickets for their shows. No one is going, well, nobody went to Survivor Series. They didn't sold out Survivor Series, they didn't sold out Raw, SmackDown, NXT, nothing. They are losing viewers each and every single day, each and every single week, simply because their product is shit, is so bad nobody is watching, is so bad nobody wants to see live their shows, and is so bad because they are firing people over and over and over again constantly, talents that they could have used in a prominent way. And I'm gonna talk about each and every single talent they have released. We're gonna read the full list of people they have released, and we're gonna go in depth in certain wrestlers, in other no, because they were jobber, they were doing nothing. But we will talk about most of them. But before we do that, we well, I will remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you can get the notifications when I upload a video, and follow me on Instagram, etc. etc. I'm gonna put the links in the description of the YouTube video, and you can follow me that. You can follow me from there. Now, without further ado, we can go on talking about WWE and shitting on WWE. And we're gonna talk about the 2020 releases. So we're gonna start with the first, yeah, from A to H people that got released. And we're gonna start with Akon. Well, Akon got released with Razor, so Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain got released in 2020, and my my mind is, well, was blown because how can you fire a tag team that can improve your tag team division that is non-existent? Just, it's unbelievable how stupid WWE is. They don't care about the tag team division. They have like 5 tag teams in all tag team division, and they have 2 sets of tag team championships. And how can you book 2 tag team championships with 5 tag teams, and with you releasing more and more tag teams every single time? I can't understand. They released Authors of Pain, a great tag team that actually Triple H brought to the table, and it was made relevant in NXT. And probably this is the reason why Vince, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, Nick Khan, and John Laurinaitis, and yeah, Bruce Pritchard fired these guys because they were Triple H's guy, just like every single releases we got in 2021. they fired basically in 2021 all of Triple H's guys just to punish Triple H, just like we already talked a long time ago, because Triple H failed to defeat AEW, even though Triple H never wanted to face AEW, and Vince put Triple H in that spot in order to basically destroy Triple H and NXT, because Triple H was doing right what Vince wasn't doing right. Because NXT was basically the biggest brand in WWE. They were overshadowing Raw and SmackDown and the big four pay-per-views, because NXT pay-per-views, NXT takeovers took place the night before the big fours, and people paid to watch the NXT takeovers instead of watching Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and the other big four Survivor Series. People paid for takeovers instead of the big four pay-per-views, and that was the reason why Vince decided to kill NXT, because Triple H was doing the right thing and he wasn't. So Vince was looking bad. So yeah, in 2020 we got Akam and Razor, so Authors of Pain, released, and this was absolute shit, because they could have been a great addition to the tag team division if WWE actually took time to build a tag team division, a good tag team division. Then we got Aiden English fired, and he was a commentator at the time. It wasn't even a wrestler. But yeah, he was great with Rusev, who also got fired, and now he's doing magnificent things in AEW. So yeah, they fired Aiden English, then Alexander Jakesick, yeah, I butchered his name, but it doesn't matter. This one was a jobber probably. And Cain Velasquez. Okay, Cain Velasquez was hired only for a match with Brock Lesnar that lasted 90 seconds, and that was it. That guy can't even fucking wrestle. They hired him only because he was a UFC champion, and Vince wants this type of guys that can't fucking wrestle, and we see this in NXT 2.0, because we're getting all these people from different sports that can't wrestle, and it's trash. So yeah, Cain Velasquez, good, go fuck yourself, and that's it. Cesar Bononi now is in AEW, and he is with the brother of Dolph Ziggler. He was fired in 2020. He never did anything. So yeah, good. Kurt Hawkins was fired. He was a jobber, of course, but he was in a tag team with Zack Ryder, who also was fired. And this is another testament that WWE doesn't care about tag team division, tag team wrestling, because this is another tag team that could have been a great addition, or actually was a great addition to the tag team division if they booked the tag team division right. Then Curtis Axel, a guy that was never given a real fair chance. He was like for 4 months with Paul Heyman in 2012, 2013, something like that. And then he was a fucking jobber. They never did anything with him, even though he was a second generation superstar. He is the son of Mr. Perfect, so actually he can wrestle. He only needed good booking, a great character, and that was it. You could have had a great professional wrestler, but they butchered him. So we will see what Curtis Axel will do. Then Dan Mata, I don't know, Dash Wilder, and Cash Wheeler. So the revival, the same thing we can say for them as we said for AOP, Authors of Pain. And now we're seeing what they did in AEW because they are in AEW. They were a tag team champion. They were tag team champions. They had fantastic matches. Have been booked right now. They are the AAA tag team champions. They're feuding with the Pentagon and Phoenix, and they're good. I'm happy for them, even though they could have been the same exact thing in WWE if WWE took time to have a tag team division. Then WWE fired Diona Purrazzo, and that is fucking stupid. This woman never got an opportunity. She was fired and then went to TNA, to Impact, and was a fantastic Knockouts champion. Two-time knockout champion. Now she is the women's champion in AAA. She feuded with a lot of great professional wrestlers. She feuded with Mickie James, another female that was fired from WWE, and yeah, she was in the NWA women's pay-per-view match, making history, etc. And I don't understand how you can't give a chance to Diona Purrazzo, a fantastic pro wrestler. In WWE, she was on the bench all the time. She wasn't even on television. Unbelievable. So I was saying that how the fuck can you not book Diona Purrazzo? I actually stopped the recording because my mother called me for the COVID vaccine because I needed to take an appointment to make the third dose, and I am in quarantine, so yeah, I can't go outside. But this is not the point. The point is that WWE put Diona Purrazzo on the bench, and she was never on television. She was never given an opportunity, so she actually was fired, and then she went on Impact and became a huge thing, a huge star. So yeah, we can see already the point that I'm trying to make, that WWE fires a lot of people without giving them opportunities, or fires people that are great and don't need that to be changed, doesn't need to be changed, and they change them and then fire them. It's unbelievable. The same thing goes for EC3. EC3 was fucking phenomenal in Impact. You just needed to take him, put him in NXT, and let him be himself. Mostly was what Triple H was doing, and then put him on the main roster and let him be himself. And he could have been a main event heel, and you could have had I can't talk. You could have had a fantastic superstar, and I don't understand. This guy was never on television. The few times he was on television, he didn't talk. He was fired because he was supposed to be in a feud with Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and he was supposed to be a face. Meanwhile, Moxley was supposed to be a heel, and since EC3 got booed in a dark match instead of being cheered, he was fired. Like, this was the real reason. It's unbelievable. Then Edgar Lopez, I don't know. Epico, Primo and Epico, well, another tag team division. Another tag team gone. Okay. Eric Rowan, gone. He was doing a good job with Daniel Bryan. Great job with Daniel Bryan. And he could have been in the tag team, still with Luke Harper, Brody. Rest in peace. They both got fired, the Bludgeon Brothers. I don't know why you fired Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. and you destroy basically. WWE destroys the tag team divisions, destroys the women's division, everything. Is destroying everything. And just like Taya Valkyrie said a few days ago, how do you see WWE in 5 years? Sold, she said. And I agree with her. I can see WWE being sold in 5 fucking years. So Eric Rowan got fired, Eric Young got fired, and all Sanity got fired. How can you fire Sanity? How can you fire Sanity? Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, Eric Young. How can you fire them? Now there is only Nikki Cross, Nikki Ash, and she will be fired in one of the next few rounds of releases. That's it. How can you fire that group that was fucking great? I don't understand. Then uh, Faisal Kurdi, I don't know, Gerald Briscoe was a producer, an ex-wrestler. Heath Slater and Rhino got fired, another tag team. I don't know. Hussein Aldegal, I don't know who he is. Ligero. Ligero was fired because of the Speak Out movement. Okay, good. Leo Rush. How can you fire Leo Rush? Leo Rush is a great pro wrestler. Now he's in AEW and he's already doing great things. So yeah, Leo Rush was fired. He was doing great in NXT with the Cruiserweight Championship, putting that championship to relevance, etc. And then he got fired. Then Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers Bullet Club. I don't understand how can you book that bad Bullet Club in WWE. I don't understand how can you fire them and how can you treat them so badly. They're fucking great, one of the best tag team in the world, one of the best tag team ever, and you fire them, you treat them like shit. I don't understand the mentality about WWE. WWE is, it's crazy. I don't know. Nick Khan, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, Kevin Dunn are stupid as fuck. They don't like pro wrestler. They don't like pro wrestling. They want sports entertainment, but this sports entertainment shit isn't resonating with people because people actually want pro wrestling. We don't want to see Omos. We don't want to see Braun Strowman. We don't want to see fucking whomever you want to bring in who can't fucking wrestle. We want to see things like AJ Styles and John Cena. That's good. We want to see fucking things like that. SmackDown 2016. SmackDown in 2016. We want to see that type of shit. Not fucking NXT 2.0, Monday Night Raw right now, Friday Night SmackDown right now. We don't want to see any of those shit. So yeah, WWE releases all these people. Leo Rush, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, so Good Brothers. Then Luke Harper, we already said, with Eric Rowan. Jack Gallagher was released as well for the Speaking Out movement. Then Jesse Gabert, I don't know who this is. Kairi Sane. How can you release Kairi Sane? A female wrestler that is amazing. How can you fire her, release her? She was doing a great job with Asuka, and she could have been booked better. She could have been a women's world champion. You could have had her making the division better. But as we all know, WWE doesn't care for tag team. WWE doesn't care about women's. They only care about Roman Reigns or Goldberg, fucking Goldberg, 60 years old. 50, I don't know how many years he has. I don't know how old he is. Fucking Goldberg wrestling in 2 minutes matches, burying people like Bray fucking Wyatt. Then Cassius Ohno, Chris Hero got fired. a great wrestler who got fired as well. Killer Kelly, another professional wrestler, great professional wrestler, got fired. Women professional wrestler. Kurt Angle got fired. Who could have been a trainer for WWE. Marco Gomez, I don't know who he is. Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett got fired. They weren't doing shit in WWE, but because they weren't booked in nothing. The only thing they were booked was the pregnancy angle, then it was gone. They did nothing, and they could have done a lot more with them. But you can see how many talents got fired without an opportunity. Then Mars Wong, I don't know, Mike Kyoda, a referee that was in WWE for I don't know how long. Mike Rotunda, okay. MJ Jenkins, I don't know. Muhammad Fahim, I don't know who are these people. But then we got No Way Jose, who got fired. Okay, he was a jobber, but he could have done a few things. Razor, we already said, with Offers of Pain. Rusev was fired. And the best thing he did in WWE in all these years was the feud with John Cena. That was it. Then he did nothing. Nothing. He was a few times US champion, but they never did nothing with him. He was basically a glorified jobber, mid-carder jobber. And then he went to AEW, and he is one of the biggest stars AEW has. He will be a world champion in the future. And this is a testament to how good actually Rusev is, Miro is, if you give him an opportunity, a real opportunity to be himself, not scripted, not bullshit storylines, etc. And WWE is good at firing this kind of people. God damn it. Then Sarah Logan, okay. Scott Dawson, we already said. Serena Deeb is doing great now in AEW, but she never did anything in WWE, in NXT. She was, I don't know, neither a jobber. She was basically appearing once in 6 months, and then she was gone. I don't know. How can you not find something to do for her? Then Daivari, okay. Then Ty Conti was fired, and now she's doing great in AEW. Travis Banks was fired, also because of the speaking out movement. Tino Sabatelli was fired, okay. He was doing nothing. Zack Ryder, I already talked about Zack Ryder. Zelina Vega was fired, then rehired, okay. She was fired because she was doing OnlyFans and Twitch. Meanwhile, on the main roster, you can't have those things because you have to cancel those things. You can't make money for yourself. That is stupid. And then we had Aleister Black fired. How can you fire a guy like him who should have been a world champion in WWE and now will be a world champion in AEW at some point? I don't know. So many good talents fired. Andrade as well, same thing. Ari Sterling fired. Arya Daivari fired. Arturo Ruas fired. And then Ashante Adonis. So Hit Row got fucking fired after 3 weeks of being called on the main roster. And how can you fire a group of like that was actually great? You could have had great television with them. But we all know Vince fired all these people. Basically, most of these people was in NXT. And as I already said, every single guy or women that was in NXT was a Triple H guy. And for this reason, they deserve, in Vince's eyes, to be fired. This is the reason they are getting fired. Not because they are not getting over, not because they are shitty person. No, because they are Triple H's guys. So all of it. Hit Row got fired. Then Usher Hale got fired. August Gray got fired. So 205 people. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce got fired. They were trash. They weren't good at all, but they were Triple H's uh, ideas. Triple H's women. Then Bo Dallas got fired and was the first ever. No, well, not the first ever. The third NXT fucking jobber. Meanwhile, it could have been more and more interesting. Could have been added to Bray Wyatt, to the Wyatt family, but no. So he was the last 2 years. He wasn't even on television. He was at home sitting, and then he got fired, just like his brother got fired. And yeah, like, how can you fire Bo Dallas? How can you fire Bray Wyatt? I don't know. And then Bobby Fish got fired. And now he is in fucking AEW. And we will see Kyle O'Reilly leaving soon. We will see Johnny Gargano leaving soon. Kevin Owens leaving soon. Zayn leaving soon, because their contract is up. Is up very soon. So Bobby Fish was fired. Braun Strowman was fired. Even though, well, I think he deserved to be fired, because he was trash. He was one trick pony. Then, who else got fired? Chase Parker, okay. And then Bronson Reed and Buddy Murphy. How can you fire those two guys? Bronson Reed could have been a great addition on SmackDown, on Raw. It didn't matter. He was fucking great. Buddy Murphy was a great professional wrestler. He was a cruiserweight champion, one of the best cruiserweight champion. He was in with Seth Rollins. He was feuding with Seth Rollins, and he could have been an IC champion and then moving up to the ladder and getting World Championship, because he was fucking great in the ring. He only needed to improve his microphone skills. Then Chelsea Green got fired, and she never got an opportunity. Kurt Stallion, I don't know. Desmond Troy, I don't know. Drake Maverick. Okay, Drake Maverick was getting opportunities here, and he got the 24/7 storylines over, etc. So he got opportunities, and it was a matter of time for him to get fired. And okay, that's good. Ember Moon got fired. She never got a fucking opportunity on the main roster. She got injured by Nia fucking Jax because she can't fucking wrestle, and thank God she is fired as well. But Ember Moon got fired, and I don't know, the women's division isn't looking good at this point. And we all know Toni Storm is gonna get fired. We all know Shotzi Blackheart is gonna get fired. So other two gone. We all know when they're getting called to the main roster, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai are getting fired. Nikki Cross is getting fired. I can go on and on and on and on. Rhea Ripley is getting fired. All these women are getting fired, and we're gonna get people like Eva Marie. She was fired as well, but we're gonna get those type of female on the main roster, because John Laurinaitis wants that. She wants divas, not professional wrestlers. So Ember Moon got fired. Eva Marie got fired, thank God. And then Ezra Judge, I don't know. Fandango and Tyler Breeze got fired. Another tag team who got fired. Unbelievable. Frankie Monet, which is Taya Valkyrie and John Morrison. WWE fired them. And the only thing they needed to do was put John Morrison and Taya Valkyrie together on Monday Night Raw, and as a power couple, and be the same thing they were in Impact and Lucha Underground, and they would have gotten over, and you could have had a great power couple. World Champion, Women's Champion, or IC Champion, Women's Champion. It didn't matter. It was great. it could have been great. Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado, Lucha House Party was gone. They were never given an opportunity. So yeah, Harry Smith, the son of Davy Boy Smith, British Bulldog, got hired. Then he was at home for like 3-4 months. They didn't know what to do with him, where to put him. Then he got COVID, and then he was fired. How can you hire someone and then fire him because you don't know what to do with him? Then who else? Jay Cutlass was fired. Okay, could have been a great addition to the cruiserweight things, etc. Jackson Wright, Forgotten Sons, all Forgotten Sons got fired, and another group that could have added something to the tag team division. GT Jessamine Duke fired. Okay, she couldn't fucking wrestle. Jessica Mea, a female wrestler who could have added something to the women's division. Kalisto got fired. Well, actually, he asked for his release, but he asked for his release because WWE was doing nothing with him. And in 2019, I think Sin Cara was fired, so another tag team fucked up. Kalisto and Sin Cara, Lucha Dragons. You see, tag team doesn't matter in WWE. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux got fucking fired. You could have done the same thing with them as I was saying with Morrison and Taya Valkyrie on Raw or on SmackDown. Didn't matter. You could have had the same thing. They only needed to take them in NXT and put them on the main roster. But no, they changed him. They made him a fucking villain from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he was a fucking jobber. He lost to fucking Jeff Hardy on the first night as an NXT champion, an undefeated NXT champion. Then he was changed, and he was feuding with John Morrison with water guns, and then he was fired. Then Katrina Cortez, okay, she was fired. Kavita Devi, okay. Keith Lee was fucking fired. Mia Yim as well, his fiancée, his wife. How can you fire Keith Lee? I don't know. He was a fucking huge babyface in NXT, dual champion, NXT champion, NXT North American champion, and he had great matches with Dominik Dijakovic, who will be fired as well soon, trust me. How can you fucking fire Keith Lee? He debuted on the main roster, and the first thing you do, you change his music, you put a t-shirt on him, then he got a COVID. He was at home for 6-7 months recuperating. Then he came back only to lose to Bobby Lashley to put over Goldberg, and he got changed again. He disappeared and he got changed again into a fucking heel, changed music again, etc. He got on TV, he lost to Karrion Kross, then he was changed again in Bearcat Lee. Keith Lee was no more, and then the next week he was fired. How can you fucking not book Keith Lee on your fucking show? And let's be clear, it's the same reason they didn't book Andrade, they didn't book Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, etc. because he was a fucking Triple H guy. Then, well, Killian Dane, we already talked about him. Conor Reeves was a fucking jobber. Lana got fired because Rusev was fired a long time before her. Leon Ruff got fired because WWE doesn't want Vanilla Midget at this point. Lince Dorado is Lucha House Party. Marina Shafir got fired. And soon Roderick Strong will be fired because Marina Shafir is his wife. Matt Martel, I don't know who he is. Mercedes Martinez. How can you fire Mercedes Martinez and Mia Yim and Mickey James? Three great professional wrestlers. And the problem is that Mia Yim never got a fucking opportunity on the main roster. She debuted on the main roster with Retribution, then she got home, and she stayed home because Keith Lee was ill and was dealing with COVID complications. And then she was fired with his fiance. Mercedes Martinez refused to go on the main roster with freaking Retribution. Then she went to NXT, she did something there, and then she got fired. And I don't know how can't you find a spot on the main roster for these women. Mickey James was treated like shit. When she was fired, she received all of her belongings in a fucking trash bag. Do you understand the problem with these fucking guys in WWE? So many talents released. Mojo Rawley, okay, was doing nothing. Nia Jax, thank God she was fucking fired. She can't fucking wrestle. She was hurting people all over the place. Only Lorcan, how can you fire Only Lorcan? I don't understand. A great pro wrestler. And Danny Burch will be fired soon. Trust me. Peyton Royce, we already talked about her. Ruby Riott. How can you fire Ruby Riott? A great pro wrestler who never got an opportunity on the main roster. Now Liv Morgan is getting an opportunity, but she will be fired soon. Trust me. Santana Garrett got fired. Another professional wrestler who never got an opportunity. She was never on fucking TV in NXT. Then the Singh brother got fired. Tag team division, non-existent at this point. Samoa Joe got fired and then rehired by Triple H. Samoa Joe got fired because he asked to be in the ring again, and WWE wasn't giving him the green light. So he was fired. He asked this for, probably he asked for his release. And then Triple H rehired him few days after and let him wrestle. But now in NXT, he got stripped from the NXT Championship because of the concussions he has, and probably it's the same reason they didn't let him wrestle and they fired him for that, because they didn't want him to wrestle. And now he is absent from television. He will be fired again, trust me. Shane Thorne got fired, okay. Skylar Story, Stephen Smith, okay. All these people, it doesn't matter. Steve Cutler, okay. Forgotten Sons. Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox was doing great in NXT. She got injured multiple times. Then she was feuding with Dakota Kai, and then she was called up to the main roster. She disappeared for weeks. Then she came back with Shotzi Blackheart, and then she was fired. She got fired. She never got a fucking opportunity. You see at this point the motto of WWE: women's doesn't count, tag team doesn't count, NXT is fucking shit, we don't want that thing. Tony Nese got fired. How can you fire Tony Nese, a great pro wrestler? Trey Baxter, Vanilla Midget in WWE eyes. Tucker got fired after he was separated from Otis, so another tag team destroyed. Tyler Breeze, we already talked about him. Tyler Rust was doing nothing. Vanessa Bourne, she was fired and she was doing nothing. She was never given an opportunity. Wesley Blake, Forgotten Sons. How can you fire Forgotten Sons? I don't know. Then Zaida Ramier, Zechariah Smith. You see, a lot of people got fucking fired in WWE in 2020 and 2021. And the how can we say the model behind this all of these releases is NXT. Like 80% of the people released were in NXT, and they were creations. Now, the problem is that WWE is fucking up. We are all seeing WWE sinking down. The viewership is going down. Viewership are going down. Sorry, the tickets aren't selling at all because Survivor Series wasn't a sold out show. Raw isn't sold out anywhere. SmackDown, the same thing. So the problem is that they are firing too many wrestlers. They are booking their shows in a shitty way, and nothing feels important, nothing is interesting, and all of this is done because 80% of the guys are Triple H's guy. And now, in December, Johnny Gargano is gone. Trust me. Kyle O'Reilly is gone. Trust me. In January, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are gone. And then, in a very short amount of time, we're getting a lot of wrestler release because we're gonna get Roderick Strong released. We're gonna get Pete Dunne release, Walter. We're gonna get release Imperium, so Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Gallus, Joe Coffey, etc. We're gonna get released Shotzi Blackheart, Rhea Ripley. Who else? Probably we're gonna get released. Yeah, Shotzi Blackheart, Nikki Cross. Multiple wrestlers are gonna get fired because they were in NXT, and I cannot wait to see Tommaso Ciampa getting fired, as well as probably I could see also Matt Riddle gone, even though at this point he's doing great. Damian Priest I can see gone. All Triple H's guys gone, trust me. I will not be surprised if at one point even Seth Rollins will be fucking fired because he was a Triple H's guy. Trust me. Or if he isn't getting fired, at one point I won't be surprised if he he ponders about going in AEW after seeing how everything is going down in WWE. Trust me, you will see a lot of fired people, a lot of releases in the next weeks, in the next months. In 6 months, you will see NXT having only people like Joe Gacy, Parker Bordeaux, Harland, now Bronson, Braun Breaker, Von Wagner. You will see only those people. You won't see anyone else. And NXT UK is getting shut. Trust me, in 1 year, 2 years max, is getting shut. I don't know. It's interesting to talk about all these releases and at the same point shitting a little bit on WWE because I don't want to be, well, I don't want to get mad because actually I don't give a shit about WWE at this point, but most of the people does. Most of the people around the world does because they haven't tried watching other things. Trust me, there are other wrestling companies that are more interesting, more fun to watch. There is AEW, All Elite Wrestling, that is fucking amazing every single week. There is New Japan Pro Wrestling, that right now wasn't at the level, isn't at the level that was a few years ago, but it will be back at that level. And this year, Wrestle Kingdom is really, really interesting because it's a 3 night show, and the third night is a super show between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah. I cannot wait. Then there is Impact, who is doing great at this point. There is NWA. There is GCW. Ring of Honor is shutting down, but in April they will reopen, and probably they will hire new talent. So we will see the new Ring of Honor. So actually, there is a lot of pro wrestling around the world. You only need to give it a try instead of being stuck with WWE and bitching and moaning about, oh, WWE sucks. Well, stop watching WWE. There is a lot of pro wrestling around the world. At this point, WWE fucking sucks. It is even worse than WCW in 2000, in my opinion. So, to everyone that is listening right now and is sick and tired of WWE, stop watching. Start watching AEW. Start watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact, Pro Wrestling Noah, NWA, GCW, AAA. You have a lot of pro wrestling. So give it a try. And fuck WWE for treating all this talent like shit and not giving a shit about their fucking product. Because all this fucking wrestler could have made great television if WWE, and by WWE I mean Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, John Laurinaitis, and Nick Khan would have gave a shit about the fucking show instead of fucking money. If they cared about the product, WWE, with all these talents released, if they didn't release them, they could have been absolutely amazing. But no, they only care about the fucking money and not about the product. All these releases, they were, well, budget cuts, quote unquote. But in reality, we all know they weren't budget cuts. They were, all these people were punished, fucking shit. All these people were punished because they were Triple H's guy. They were Triple H's creation. They were NXT. And they got fired for that. Not because of budget cuts. Simple. So, fuck WWE. Go watch the other promotions I told you, because there is pro wrestling around the world. We will see what all these talents got fired will do, but we all already saw what certain individuals did, and I cannot wait to see what others are gonna do. But I can assure you, soon we're getting the Undisputed Era in AEW, because Kyle O'Reilly is jumping ship, and once Roderick Strong gets fired or his contract expires, he will be in AEW as well. So we're getting the Undisputed Era there. Just a little bit of hype for you. And we're getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as well. Trust me. So I think that I talked enough about the releases, the mass releases, and about what I thought, what I think about all these things. And yeah, I think this is enough for today. When I have time, I will talk about the women's division, the Queen of the Ring, the King of the Ring, and I will shit on those things as well. And another time, I will probably do an episode, a video about how WWE can be fixed with the roster they have right now. Because the roster isn't bad. The roster is quite good. The only problem is they don't book the shows right. That's simple. So, this is basically it. Thank you guys for listening, and I will I will talk to you next time. Before I leave you, I will ask you to hit the thumbs up, give it a like. So it's simple. You can help me with that. Give it a like, hit the thumbs up, and tell me in the comments on YouTube, of course, what do you think about all these mass releases and about the WWE status that, in my eyes, my honest opinion, is absolute trash. And I agree with Taya Valkyrie that in 5 years I can see WWE being sold, because that's the road they're going. They're releasing a lot of talents each and every single time, and I can see at one point releasing everybody and selling WWE. I can see that. Simply because Vince doesn't want anyone else to run WWE. And I can see him being that petty that he will sold WWE. He will sell WWE instead of giving WWE to Shane or Triple H or anyone else. I can see him doing that. So I am on the same boat with Taya. And this is everything. So I thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you, I hope, soon. And have a nice day. And remember to follow the buzzards, like Bray Wyatt says. But have a nice day.